All right, guys, it is Kieran from Red Devil Weekly, and we are back to preview Spurs versus Manchester United. The biggest test, I should say, so far of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's career, well, not career, of the season, I should say. The biggest test of our season so far as we take on Spurs at Old Trafford, a team which has been playing quite a lot recently and has had a few injuries. Son, for example, it's not going to be easy, but we do have the benefit of the fact they have played quite a lot in recent weeks. But before we get into any of that, as usual, make sure you leave a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. And I will be doing a lot more of these in the coming days as the transfer window comes to an end, obviously, on the 5th of October. That's it. That is the deadline. And I'm starting to get worried, lads. I'm not going to lie. I am starting to get a little bit worried. You look at the lack of transfer activity. You look at the fact that we haven't even, reports just now I saw on Twitter say we put in a bid for Jadon Sancho. There's no way it's going to be £108 million. So the fact that Sancho's not in as we speak, I am getting worried. I'm not going to lie, I'm getting worried. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. To be honest with you guys, I am getting worried. I don't have any other news other than what you see on social media. So unless you guys have got anything else, then please do let us know. But let's not talk about that for now. Let's talk about the Spurs game. And as I said, before I get into that, leave a like, subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Nearly 830 subscribers now, I think. So thank you very much for support. Really appreciate it. And I do want to say as well, I'm sorry for not doing more. I didn't do anything for the Luton or the Brighton games, actually. So I do apologise, but I will be getting back to doing that much more regularly. So I do apologise for that. But we are back, and as you can see, I've actually got my Man United top on. I don't usually have any sort of Man United tops on, but why not? I thought, why not? Why not spruce up a little bit? I mean, it's not one of our best kits, but actually it fits me a bit better than it did when I first bought it back in 2017. Welcome Footy Live and welcome Matthew. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. And Matthew's coming straight away and says Mourinho will definitely have a plan for us. I agree. Listen, I think after all the kind of back and forth between Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Mourinho over the past few days, there's a little bit simmering there. And I think Jose Mourinho will stop at nothing to get 3 points off us at the weekend. And it's a frightening prospect, to be honest, because the way we've been playing at the moment, we need Spurs to be playing shocking as well. I mean, we need a little bit of a helping hand from Spurs as well as ourselves, to be honest with you, the way we've been playing. I mean, we just about got past Brighton. Shocking performance against Crystal Palace. So it seems like we're kind of slightly getting better, ever so slightly. But with the players that Spurs have, it's going to be difficult to, to keep them out. Footy Live says big transfer movements at United, 100%. I like that. I like that. I like to hear that, mate. I do. I like to hear that. But we'll have to wait and see, Tom. We'll have to wait and see. But you just hear all these like rumors coming out. Just standard United at the end of every transfer window. You always see all these like rush for transfer rumors. The Jovic, you got Cavani as well. All these things are just starting to. Why are they starting to come out now? Why aren't they starting to come out? 2 or 3 weeks ago, or even a month ago? Like they're coming out basically because news outlets, they can get some, a little bit of cash. They can get clicks by using United's name and transfer news. That's realistically what's happening. Jovic is not coming, obviously. Cavani was never coming. So we're in a position right now where I don't know what's going to happen. I actually don't know what's going to happen. Jadon Sancho could happen. It could not happen. I think the fact that we haven't paid the fee up until this point, why would we then go and pay the money unless they're looking at the pressure from the fan base? But then a statement that came out today was saying that apparently they don't care about that. They don't care about the pressure from the fan base. So I don't know what to believe. I really, really don't. Welcome G for Red Devil Studio. Thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it. He says, do you think we'll sign Sancho? Listen, I'll tell you what. I'll give my thoughts on this and then we'll get on to the Spurs game. But for me, I don't think we will. I think I'll be very, very surprised if at this late stage we sign Jadon Sancho. And the only way we do it is if we pay the money. There's no way for me that we kind of offer up some sort of dodgy dealing. We offer up, 90 million a bag of crisps. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen. We need to pay the £108 million if we are going to get Jadon Sancho. And if we don't get Jadon Sancho, I'm going to be pissed off, not because we didn't get him. Obviously, yeah, a bit about that. But the fact that we didn't, see that we were not going to pay the money earlier and go for somebody else. I don't understand this thing where, we kind of kept trying to bargain with Dortmund. And to be fair, The only time I've seen that we actually released a bid was in the past few weeks or even week. So if we knew we weren't going to get Jadon Sancho, why didn't we move on to alternatives? That's going to be the biggest thing that pisses me off if we don't get him. We should have been looking at other people. If we knew we're not going to get Jadon Sancho, yeah, it's a bummer, but we should have been looking at other people, because what's going to happen is if we don't get Sancho and we don't get Dembele and we don't get someone like Sarr either, if we come out with nothing, then what's going to happen is not only will we not have Sancho, but we'll have no one. We're playing with Greenwood, Martial, and Rashford again, who were decent last year, and especially after the restart, they were very, very good. But are they going to be able to realistically do that a whole season? You also got the Daniel James problem. Now you're looking at bringing Daniel James off the bench when Mason Greenwood isn't doing it. And no harm to Daniel James. I do believe he still could be a decent player, but right now he's not performing at that level. So for me, I don't understand why we need to bring in someone. If we don't bring in Jadon Sancho, we have to bring in someone. And even if it's a defender, if we come out of this with nothing, the board is going to look an absolute, just a shambles. But the thing is, we know this. It's nothing new. It is nothing new. We know this. So a few transfer rumours from Footy Tom, Transfer Tom, as we like to call him. Cavani and Jovic rumours aren't going to happen at all. We also, Smalling to Roma is done. Yeah, I saw that. Good luck to Chris Smalling. And also, good luck to Andres Pereira. Obviously, we have our banter, and we know that he's not the best player. But I think it's a good move for him. He needs to be playing football week in, week out. And I think Lazio might be a decent place for him. So hopefully he does well. Hopefully, we all wish him the best. And hopefully he can improve himself. And we can potentially get him back if he's good. And then we can obviously have him as a bench option or something like that. He also says Dalot to AC Milan or Roma is close as well. I think a lot of people actually look at the Dalot rumours as a bit of like, should we be getting rid of him? Should we be keeping him? I know there's a lot of people on social media, especially, who actually think Diogo Dalot is one of our best fullbacks. And I would have to disagree with that personally, but I see where people are coming from in the fact that we're looking to kind of, get rid of him, which I don't understand. I mean, it might be a loan deal, but it's a loan deal is probably the best thing for him as well. But we haven't seen Aaron Wan-Bissaka play this season, really. So I don't know, but Dalot, I think, has got a lot of talent. There's no doubt about that. There's a reason why we brought him in. He's got a lot of talent, but maybe getting games week in, week out is what he needs. And as I said, the same thing with Pereira, same thing with Chris Smalling, all these guys. We wish them well. Hopefully they can come back and they can do a madness for us. Hopefully they do that. But as of now, we can't know that for sure. But that's all my talk on transfers for now. As I said, I will be doing more regular stuff on transfers in the coming days because a lot's going to be happening. I do think a lot is going to be happening. If it doesn't happen, then I would be a bit worried as a United fan, to be honest with you. But anyway, let's get on to the game. Let's get on to the Spurs game. We're going to talk about Spurs. They won their game in midweek 7-2. 7-2. They're scoring goals in goal-scoring form. But actually, as of late, their form hasn't been brilliant. They started off the season with a loss against Everton. They only drew 1-1. It was a bullshit draw, to be fair. It was a bullshit draw against Newcastle. Didn't stop me laughing, but it was a bullshit draw nonetheless against Newcastle. But they haven't really seemed to have got it going in the league yet. Yes, they did well. Who did they play against? Oh, forgotten the name. They won 5. Was it Fulham? No, who was the team? Someone remind me. Who is the team that they won? That Harry Kane scored. No, Harry Kane assisted 4 times. It'll come. No, Southampton. That's it. They got the result against Southampton, and they looked decent in that game. Obviously, Son scored 4 goals in that game, and Son isn't going to be playing, which is obviously a plus for us. And as a football fan, you obviously hope he gets better from his injury. But the fact he's not playing is a plus for us because he's very, very difficult to handle. Just want to welcome a few people. Welcome Draco. Thanks for joining. Make sure you check out Draco's channel as well. Great stuff on their match previews, reviews, all that good stuff, as well as a bit of gaming. So make sure you check him out on all his socials. And also, Baclau Laup, thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it. Says Manchester BAME supporter to be blamed for this year's transfer window. What's the fuss about Sancho? All they wanted was Sancho, that we missed out on likes of Werner, Thiago Silva, Vidal, and others. I'm not sure what you mean by the BAME supporters to be blamed. I don't think they will be blamed. The only people that deserve to be blamed, mate, are the board for not backing him. That's a simple fact. No one else apart from the board is to be blamed. So I'm not sure what you're getting at with that, but thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it. But yeah, listen, we did miss out on a lot of those players that could have improved us. We really did. So hey, it's going to be an interesting few days. It's going to be an interesting few days, or I hope it is anyway. As I said, Draco's here. Thanks for joining. He says, I think we will scrape past Spurs. Going to be a tough game. I agree, mate. It's going to be a very, very tough game. As one commenter said earlier on, I think it was Matthew, Jose Mourinho will have a plan to beat us. He'll want to beat us. He is going to be fired up beyond belief because of all the banter, everything that's been flowing around, the back and forth he's been having with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. It's heating up to be a very, very exciting prospect for the neutral. Not so much for us, but for the neutral. Art Moore, thanks for joining as well. He says, if we don't sign Sancho, will you talk with Red Army and others for doing something? Listen, I'm happy to get involved with anything like that. In the end of the day, I want what is best for the club. And listen, I'm happy to get behind any movements, kind of against the Glazers, because let's face it, I mean, you guys know already. I don't even need to go through all the stuff that's gone on behind the scenes, because it's been published. All the statistics, everything like that, it's all been published. I don't need to go through that. Honestly, I don't need to go through that. So you guys know it, and as I said, I'm all for helping the fan base do what's right and go against what is going wrong in our club. And 100%, Armo, 100%. If I do get the call up, then we'll see. But as I said, I'm all for, as a fan of United, I want the best for United. So that's simple as that. K-Si, thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it, mate. Always good to see you. He says, by the way, I put a bet on that will sign Jadon, so I better get it done or I'm giving my friend money. It's easy, but I don't want to give him money. Listen, mate, that was a bold bet, man. You've got a set of balls on you, mate. You really have a set of balls on you. So I respect you for that, but I'm going to be honest with you, mate. Time's ticking. Time is ticking. So I hope we sign Sancho just for you now, mate. Just for you. Just so you don't have to pay up. But Clara says, why should the board feel pressured to sign Sancho? What if he turns out like Sanchez? Well, listen, obviously paying that much money for a player is going to be very, very... it's going to be costly, and it's a big risk. There's no doubt about it. No one's saying that Sancho is going to, be the best player in the world. Everyone knows that it's a big risk. But of what we've seen with Jadon Sancho, what's different with Alexis Sanchez is that Jadon Sancho is only 21 years old, and he's actually expressed his interest in wanting to come to Manchester United. Let's not forget, the Sanchez deal kind of happened because, we just offered him a lot of money and he came. Like, he even said that after his first training session, he wanted to go home. That's not going to be the case with Jadon Sancho. Trust me, that's not going to be the case. So I think that's the little bit of the difference, is that Sanchez just didn't want to come at all. He did not want to come at all. Dazza, thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it. By the way, I saw how many people were watching your draw, mate, your live Carabao Cup draw. Your channel's going from strength to strength. It's great to see it, mate. Great to see it. So make sure you check out Dazza's channels, well, all the other channels as well that I've mentioned in this stream. But yeah, there's doubt. That will get Sancho now, leaving it too late as usual. I agree. Listen, I do agree with that. But just quickly back onto the game. As I said about Spurs, Son's out. It's going to be a bit more difficult for them. They made the signing, who I don't think can actually play in the game, so we don't have to worry about him anyway. But to be fair, in Spurs' games, they haven't really leaked goals. They haven't been a team that has leaked goals too much, to be honest. Obviously only conceding the one against Everton, only conceding the one against Newcastle, which realistically they shouldn't have conceded. So defensively, they look very, very solid, which worries me. It does worry me because against teams that are defensively solid, we find it very, very difficult to break them down. We saw against Crystal Palace, they were very, very well organised, and we found it very, very difficult to break them down and to get through that. And obviously we ended up losing 3-1. Probably should have been 2-1, but we played awfully. We didn't deserve to win that game anyway. So even though, the bullshit of the handball and the retake and penalty happened, we didn't deserve to win it anyway. So there's no complaining with that one. Against Brighton, obviously our attacking was a little bit better, but at the same time, we're probably lucky to get away with 3 points in that one as well. So we're going to have to be a lot more clinical, and we're going to have to create a lot more chances against Spurs if we are going to beat them, because defensively we're looking shaky at the moment, and Spurs have got the players in Harry Kane, Lucas Moura, to exploit that. So we're going to have to be very, very careful. I do think that our midfield is better than their midfield, and I think our front three, without Son, I think our front three is better than their front three at the moment. So in that respect, I think going forward, if we play the tactic of we'll score more than you, we should score more than them. But is football as easy as that? No, it's not, is the answer to that. Few of your comments coming through. Baclara says, you accept it or not, this year's transfer window is ruined by Bain supporters. I am one too. I can't say that, mate, Mars. I can't say that. I can't say I don't think I don't think fans can ruin a transfer window. The only people that have control over the transfers is the club and the people at the club who are employed. In the end of the day, yes, they look at social media to see what the fans are thinking. But at the end of the day, the idea that they don't have any sort of plan or any sort of direction is scary almost. It is scary. Surely you would think that they're not just looking at social media going, oh, who does Red Devil Weekly want us to sign? Oh, he wants us to sign Neymar. All right, let's go for Neymar. They're not doing that. They'll have some sort of strategy. I mean, I beg to differ with Man United, but you feel like they'll have some sort of strategy in place. So, yeah, I can't blame supporters. You can't blame supporters for lack of signings or for people that we have signed. So, anyway. Yeah, keep the comments coming in. As G says, thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate it. So hit that like button, guys. If you can, please do feel free to do so if you're enjoying it. If you're not enjoying it, hit that dislike button and let me know why in the comment section below. I'm always open to criticism as long as it's constructive and not just talking about my dead trim, which is dead. Look at it. Jesus. All the spots on my head. Look at that. Look at those spots. Jeez. Anyway. Less about the spots, more about football, and that's why we're here. Della says we should look at signing Joe Hugel from our under-23 team because he's been brilliant for them. Lied to see him in the first team. I've seen good things. I have seen good things, Daryl. I'm not going to lie. He does look very, very good. Some saying he's the next Greenwood. I hope so. I hope he is. But Greenwood's still only 19 years old. And the fact he turned 19 made me feel a little bit less old because I'm also 19 as well. So he's the same age as me as far as I'm concerned. But hopefully I'm just going to kind of hold on to that until I turn 20 and I'm older than Mason Greenwood. So we'll leave that there. But yeah, he looks decent. Hugel does look decent. I'm not going to lie. Draco says, yeah, because Vidal, Thiago and Thiago Silva can play right wing. That's the thing, isn't it? That is the thing. That's in response to Blanco says, we missed out on so many classy players just because of this disease to sign Sancho. Bain just want to make bromance of Rash, Greenwood and Sancho. No genuine care about football club. Yeah, listen, as I said, my last thing I'll say on that is the fans can like who they want at the end of the day. And as I said, social media does not have as much of an impact as you'd think on a football club signings and the way they do things. You can tell. I mean, during the transfer window, the admin of the Man United Twitter account was just putting out all this stuff, and underneath it was getting so much hate. It didn't stop doing that because it was getting hate. If it really cared about the social media and stuff and everyone on social media's opinions, it would have stopped. It would have gone, you know what, we're getting loads of hate, we'll step back. But trust me, they don't care that much. They really don't care. So that's what I'm going to say on that last point. But as I said, you're always entitled to your opinion. That's great. That's open forum, and that's why I love doing this. Tom says, fans make a club, not the owners or the board. Without fans, football club would not exist. Summed it up perfectly. Draco said, predicted centre-back partnership. I like this question. I like it because it's a thinker, this one. It is a thinker. And I'll get to your other comments as well, guys. Don't worry about that. Keep them coming. But this is one, the predicted centre-back partnership. And you know what? We may as well just go straight into my predicted 11 because I don't have too much to say about Manchester United other than the fact that we need to pick it up from our last two games if we've got a chance of getting anything out of this. So for me, my predicted centre-back partnership is going to be Lindelof and Maguire. My personal view is it should be Eric Bailly and Harry Maguire. He showed it against Luton and he showed it against Brighton in midweek. He is our best centre-back at this moment right now. I think even better than Harry Maguire, in my opinion. And I think he would be the perfect partner for Harry Maguire. And what I do not understand at all, is the fact that in a period last season where Lindelof was injured and Bailly came in, or Bailly came back from injury, I'm not sure if Lindelof was injured, but Bailly came back from injury and played with Harry Maguire for like 5 or 6 games. We did not concede a goal in that time. We did not concede a goal when Harry Maguire and Eric Bailly was centre-back partnership. Then, when Lindelof was back, he put Lindelof in and we started conceding goals again. What I don't understand is how Eric Bailly doesn't get a start. What does he need to do, man? What does he need to do to get started alongside Harry Maguire? I'm not saying Lindelof's a terrible defender. I don't think he's terrible. But Eric Bailly is better than Lindelof, and I think we can all agree on that. But if you don't, please do let me know. So to answer your question, Draco, I'd say my predicted partnership is Lindelof and Maguire, just because Solskjaer seems to trust that partnership. Hopefully we get Eric Bailly and Harry Maguire. But let me know your thoughts in the live chat as well, guys. Let me know. Thanks, Dazza. Appreciate it, mate. Appreciate it. Looking smart, he says. Cheers, mate. Look at that. Yeah, and the haircut it needs a bit of work. I do need to get my own style, to be honest, because this is just, what is this haircut? It's just nothing. I mean, it's tidy, it's short, but that's pretty much all I can say about it. I want like my own style. You know what I mean? Let me know what sort of haircut I should get in the comments. Anyone coming on tonight? I might have someone on the call actually just after I give my predicted 11 and score prediction, and then you know what, I'll get you guys on. By the way, as well, I just saw Red Devil Studio. I just saw one of your comments, and it reminded me, make sure you do check out his Spurs preview. He was live just before this. Make sure you go to his channel and check it out, and also check out Draco's as well. Make sure you do. They're all in the live comments, so just go for there. I don't have their links in the description, unfortunately. I apologize for that. I'll do that for next stream, but make sure you check them out if you haven't already. So yeah, you know what? Let's see. Predicted 11. That's it. We'll get back on track. Predicted 11. So yeah, as I said, my predicted 11. David Hare in goal. Now, some people are saying Dean Henderson. Some people are saying Dean Henderson, and for me, he has been very, very good. But I just don't see the need as of right now to drop David De Gea. And I think a lot of us said that we'd only drop David De Gea after he's made a mistake or had a bad game, because it keeps the pressure on both the goalkeepers. But to be fair to De Gea, he hasn't had a bad game since. So maybe he has raised the game. I mean, he saved a penalty. He saved a penalty for the first time in like 5 years. He's raised his game all right. He knows he's got Dean Henderson breathing on the back of his neck. So I think it's going to be David De Gea in goal. We'll see a back four of probably Luke Shaw, Lindelof, Maguire, and I think we'll see Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I think we'll see Aaron Wan-Bissaka in the team. 3 in midfield. Now, some people are saying Donny van der Beek, but I think in terms of a game against Spurs, one of the top 6, I think we'll probably see Matic in there with Pogba and Fernandes. And then the front 3 speaks for itself, really. Rashford, Martial, and Mason Greenwood is my predicted 11. Let me know your predicted 11s, as always, in the live chat and the comment section below. But yeah, I think that's a predicted 11, really. The kind of pretty well the standard team that we saw since the restart last season. And I think if we have that team, and if that team is on the same sort of form that we showed towards the back end of last season, I think we'll get the job done, just because Spurs have got people missing. And we can't forget, they played like Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday for the past few weeks. So they're going to be out on their feet. They're going to be out on their feet. So if we just apply some actual energy and some fitness, then I think it'll be difficult for them. It will be difficult. A few of your comments coming in here. As I said, let me know what you guys thought on my predicted 11. And as Red Devil Shoe said again, G, absolute, what a G. What a G. Like the video as well. Make sure you do if you haven't already. It really does help me. And it really does tell me that you enjoy these sort of videos as well. Let me know what other sort of videos you want to see on the channel in the live chat, or if you're watching as a video. And thank you very much if you're watching a video. Really appreciate it. Put it in the comment section below as well. Interested to hear what you guys have to say. Draco says Bailly is a must. I'd have to concur, Draco. I concur. Great minds think alike. Great minds think alike. Blackwood says, I'm so glad Ollie man up and did not sign Sancho. Anyways, going to game, I want Rashford to play alone rather than Greenwood or Martial play alongside him. Also, you want Rashford to play as a lone number 9. That is an interesting one. What do you guys think about that? I think in terms of a prediction, I don't think Solskjaer is going to stray away from that 4-3-3, but could be an option. I think we saw when Martial was out injured last season, Rashford really took up that number 9 position well. So that might be a good option. Who knows? KSI says, who's getting FIFA 21? I'm not. I don't have a console with me at the moment where I am, so I'm definitely not getting FIFA 21 yet. But who knows? I might be doing some FIFA 21 videos on the channel. If you'd like to see that, hit that like button if you'd like to see that. Draco says, I think Henderson is knocking on the door. I genuinely believe if De Gea makes a mistake that cost us, Henderson will go in. I agree. I think that's the reason we brought Henderson in. Now, instead of, obviously, look, I'm not disrespecting Sergio Romero. He was a brilliant goalkeeper, kept probably one of the most amount of clean sheets as a backup goalkeeper in world football in the time he was at Manchester United. He was a very, very good goalkeeper, no doubt about it. But someone like Dean Henderson, who's young, who's hungry, who has stated publicly how passionate he is about Manchester United and how he wants to play for Manchester United, having that in behind David De Gea really does, increase the competition. So, yeah, I think that is definitely a factor. LSR Pre-Inks Drive, thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it. Says, yo, baby. Thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it as always. As I said, leave a like if you aren't already. Let's see, Draco says, didn't Rashford get double-digit assists and goals this season, playing alongside those players, and he was injured in the season too? Yeah, mate, I tell you, when Rashford was actually on his own, when the injuries did come in that first season, when he was on his own, you did actually see he took up that number 9 role very, very well indeed. So for me, maybe that might not be a bad option. It might not be a bad option at all. But yeah, thanks for, as I said, hit that like button if you're on a rig, guys. Please do. Really appreciate it. Dad says Sadio Mane just tested positive. I didn't know that. I'm not sure what that's going to do for the Premier League. I don't know what's going to happen. To be honest, I can't be. If football actually kind of stops again, I'll be so pissed, man. I'll be so pissed, honestly. But I guess safety matters more than sport. Obviously, safety matters more than sport. But it'll be annoying. It will be annoying. The fact that we've got all these restrictions on at the moment. It will be annoying, no doubt about that. But yeah, listen, keep your comments coming in, keep them coming in, keep them flying in, and I'll be, I'll respond to them. And as I said, if you think anything that I say is stupid or wrong or ridiculous, please do let me know. Black Cloud says De Gea is class. We can't forget his services to the club. So much noise. Henderson should be given a spot. Okay, he'll make a mistake and the argument will be over. And De Gea back to number 1. Yeah, look, I think we can't forget how good David De Gea has been. There's no doubt about that. You can't forget how good David De Gea has been for this club. But at the same time, you do feel like his past performances, he does need someone in there to really push him to the limit and push him to do the best that he can do. So, yeah, I think you're right when you say De Gea's. We can't forget the contribution he's made to the club. We really, really can't. But yeah, that said, I've given my starting 11 prediction. Now I'm going to give my score prediction. Everyone watching right now, get your score predictions in the live chat right now. I want to hear what you guys have to say. What is your score prediction? Tell me now. My score prediction, I'm going to go through it. Usually, I never get these right. So this is not me basing this off any sort of expert analysis whatsoever. This is just me kind of just making it up as I go along and just kind of going by a gut feeling. My gut feeling is that we'll get the job done. I think it'll be a very similar game and played under very similar pretenses as the game at Old Trafford was last season against Spurs, when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was under a little bit of pressure for his job, and Spurs came with some injuries. Obviously, we didn't play against Harry Kane last time as well, so they came with a few injuries, and it's going to be difficult. For me, I'm going to go with a 1-0 win to Manchester United. I think it's going to be very, very tight. Mourinho's men are very, very good defensively. As I said, this season they haven't really conceded a whole lot of goals. One against Everton, one bullshit goal against Newcastle. They haven't conceded many. So for me, it's going to be tight. So I'm going to go with a 1-0 win, and I think Martial's going to bag the winner. Anthony Martial, Old Trafford, like he did in the 17-18 season. 1-0 win. That'll do me just fine. Draco says 2-1 win to United, safe scoreline. I like it. Dazza goes for the 1-1 draw. To be fair, that was, I'm not going to lie, my head kind of says a 1-1, but I couldn't bring myself to say that because I don't want that to happen. A 2-2 draw, says Bacleo. Yeah, as I said, a draw looks on the cards really, but for me, I've got to go with a positive scoreline 1-0, and K-side goes 3-2 Spurs. Oh, I can't predict the loss, man. Can't predict the loss, but I see what you mean. The way you're playing at the moment, it's not great at all. But guys, it's coming up to the half-an-hour mark. I'm going to end it off there. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Hit that like button if you aren't already. Subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. Nearly 830 subscribers. So anything you guys can do to help us out would be absolutely fantastic. But thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it. And I'll be doing more of these in the coming days as the transfer windows tick down to the 5th of October. It's going to be exciting. I'm sure it is. Hopefully there's more news to come out. But anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you check out all the channels I mentioned in the live chat, and I'll see you in the next one.